Introducing Tim Hunter.
Featured artists.
Yes, time now to look at our spotlight artist for the week, our featured artist, and it is Charles Stenner, Guernsey folk musician who has moved all the way across the world to Whistler in Canada, and he is having a fantastic time there, producing, making music, gigging as well, bit of skiing every now and again. I caught up with Charles earlier this week to find out how things are going the other side of the world.
Yeah, I'm loving life. I just secured my PR, so I'm over the latest round of visa hurdles, which is a big relief. And yeah, happily just enjoying Canada life.
Yeah, and tell me about what life is like out there for you, because I know that you're totally sort of, ingrained with the music and stuff out there. It seems like you're writing and collaborating with a lot of artists out there. Is that still sort of the plan and what you're up to out there?
Yeah, I'm busy with music, still mainly producing for Ryan Harris. We're actually going on tour around Europe in spring, in May. There's a London show on the 7th of May, which is super exciting. But I do most of my production work for him. I do some work recording other artists. In fact, someone flew to here from Mexico, which was crazy.
Whoa.
And recorded 3 tracks with me. His name's David Nate, and those tunes will be out soon. And then just in the spaces between, I've been working on my own ideas and trying to get them recorded when I can, just to keep that flame alive. It's been brilliant.
How do you find sort of switching, I suppose, gears between, producing other people, producing Ryan, producing people that fly in from Mexico, and working on your own stuff as well? Is that quite an easy switch to make, sort of like changing your headspace?
I must say that there's always, by virtue of like the ideas being mine, I'm just that much closer to working on my own stuff, and they're definitely slightly, they mean different things to me, but I find that actually the process of recording other people and just seeing projects through to the finish line has made me more efficient and more self-aware in my own creative practice, and being able to sort of recognize when I'm falling into traps of being too hypercritical or maybe just tripping up somewhere. Because when I work for other people, I suppose I've got just slightly more distance to be objective about the process, really. Yeah.
Last time we heard from you on the upload, it was sort of late October time. Now we're back with this new track that you sent through to us, Girl on the Hill. I sort of read with interest, inspired by some Guernsey folklore, which I think is really cool. So tell me a bit about the track and the message behind it, or even the inspiration.
Yeah, well, folk music is increasingly just dear to my heart and reminds me of my roots in Guernsey, and I'm interested by the mystery of folk, our folk heritage, I suppose. And the storytelling kind of quality of folk songs, which I really tried to distill and experiment with in this new track, The Girl on the Hill. It's definitely got a darker kind of quality in the theme, but I am deliberately kind of ambiguous about I wanted to leave it up to the listener to make their decision about I suppose that's a kind of tool to draw the listener deeper into the mystery of this story, but it's inspired by home and that folk heritage. Like, I would visit the dolmens on the corner of Richmond, where my house is, and there's a little like notice board there with witches and evil spirits gathered here and danced on whatever, and all of this. I mean, even things like gargoyles on, and like just ancient stuff. I think because Canada is such a young country and culture compared to England, it's taken me coming away from that stuff to really deeply kind of appreciate it further. Hi, I'm Charles Stenner, and this is BBC Introducing's track of the week, The Girl on the Hill.
A girl who's orphaned away a fantasy world, skips through the fields on the mountain, danced all around, she'd never come down. Sings to the birds in the trees, then plucks at their feathers like rosary beads. A poor lost forsaken child whose spirit has all but been left to the wild. She'll be gone soon, she won't make a sound. Come the morning, with no one else around. When the daylight breaks and the frost claws at the ground. House comes alive, the furniture creaks through the tales of its strife. She whispers the portraits of saints and washes away the blood from the frames, and waxes the candle it holds, and laughs at the flickering shadows on walls, and runs up the staircase to hide from echoes of all that she's leaving behind. She'll be gone soon, and she won't make a sound. Come the morning, with no one else around. When the daylight breaks and the frost claws at the ground. She'll be gone soon, and she won't make a sound. Come the morning, with no one else around. When the daylight breaks and the frost claws at the ground.
Girl on the Hill by the wonderful Charles Stenner on BBC Introducing in the Channel Islands. My track of the week for this week.
BBC Music introducing Tim Hunter. Featured artists.
Yeah, let's pick up from that conversation we were having with Charles. He was talking about the fact that obviously this song you just heard, Girl on the Hill, is all about Guernsey folklore and actually how connected he feels to the Channel Islands despite being in Whistler, all the way on the other side of the world, but actually connected through this new track and through his new music.
One of the catalysts to me finally recording this song and putting it out is that last year I was fortunate enough to play guitar for a international fiddle player called Jocelyn Pettit, who lives in Squamish, just neighbouring town to Whistler, and she is a phenomenal musician and fiddle player. And I was kind of, I'd be sheepishly strumming along these songs next to her, and all of a sudden she'd kind of bring them back to life. And I thought so she featured on this song, and I just thought it's now or never, because I just love her playing so much, and all of the soaring fiddle work that you can hear on the recording is her, Jocelyn.
Yeah, I think the fiddle is such an underrated instrument, to be honest, and I do think that it's a really cool layer and a really cool texture on this track, and it adds to the folky element of it, doesn't it? Totally.
I actually played the violin when I was small, and it's such a hard instrument. My cat used to run out the room when I was practicing. Like, my family wouldn't tolerate it. So whenever I hear it, I love it to pieces.
Yeah, my brother used to play the cello, so I have sort of like flashbacks whenever I hear cello. He never did any grades, is all I'll say. He never quite made it as a grade one, but he tried really hard. But that kind of like transports me back to my younger years. So Charles, what's the plan for you then? In terms of, obviously you're planning on doing a bit of a European tour, a date in London, which is super exciting. So hopefully, if people want to make the journey over, that would be brilliant. But that's quite a big date in the diary. What else is sort of planned around that? Hopefully releasing some more music, or what sort of stage are you at?
I've got 2 other tracks. One's finished and I've sent it to be mastered. That's more of a kind of chilled acoustic reflective song. It's called Kept You in Mind. And I haven't scheduled or sort of put a date in the diary for that to be released, but that will probably be the next one. And following that, I have this other tune we'll call it a secret. I'm not sure what will happen with it yet. It's too early to say, but I'm deep in sort of the world of recording it right now. So more fiddle and cello actually on that.
Oh, nice.
I need to find a cellist, so maybe your brother could get on it.
I love my brother, but I certainly won't be recommending him to play cello on your beautiful music, Charles.
Poor boy.
That is Charles Stenner there, catching up with me. Sorry, Robin, my brother, for not putting you up to the role for cellist on Charles' new music. Let's get another one of his tracks on for you this evening. Charles Stenner from Guernsey in Simple Song.
Well, come, my friend,